So, hello. I just wanted to jump on here and do a quick live to talk about the experience of being triggered um, because I've been having a nicer experience of that lately. So I wanted to share it with you just in case it's helpful. So, firstly, what do I mean by getting triggered? I think people will have different understandings of that. So I'm just going to share what resonates with me and the way I see it. So, for me, getting triggered is when something happens, maybe someone says something or does something, and I have a strong reaction, and it's bringing up, it's kind of uh, jabbing at a kind of wound that is already there. And that wound is often a belief, a painful belief that I'm holding about myself or life in general, how life works, who I am. Um, and it's a misunderstanding. And I developed that when I was young. It's about the meaning I made up about situations to make sense of things as a child. And that meaning is often inaccurate. So, for example, let's just take a simple example. My dad shouts at me when I'm playing too noisily. And so I make up the meaning that if I relax and enjoy myself, people will find me annoying. So then I grow up and someone shouts at me, and I have this big reaction in my body, contraction, tension. It's like I've been attacked. And in my mind, it starts getting really busy, and I can have a lot of thoughts, like these beliefs coming up, like I'm not safe, I'm not okay, I'm not understood, it's unfair. And most of us typically don't like that experience. I don't really like it most of the time, if I'm honest. But why I've come on here is what I just wanted to share with you lately. I have been having a nicer experience of that. And I've been seeing it in a different way. So where shall I go with this? I mean, one of the main things I want to stress is that getting triggered isn't wrong. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you haven't learned anything. It it's a part of our humanness, and it's okay. It's okay to get triggered. It doesn't have to be a big problem. Obviously, we don't want to be getting triggered all the time, and it's nice when it happens less. But what gets in the way of that, or what can get in the way of that, is judging getting triggered, because that just adds another layer of difficult thoughts to kind of work through. So that's one thing that's really helped me lately, is that I'm not judging that experience as wrong. I don't think it means I'm a bad person or a stupid person. The other thing that I forgot to mention was we have the physical, I mean, we all experience that differently. For me, it's often in my chest, but it can become more full body if it's a stronger reaction. There's the busy mind, and then there's also often an urge to act, to try to fix the feeling, get away from the feeling, to defend ourselves, to blame someone. And that, when we act on that, it doesn't tend to go too well. But that happens, and sometimes sometimes it goes okay. I remember I had an argument with my husband I don't know how long ago it was, but we were in this house, so within the last 5 years, and I said to him, "You're such an asshole." And as soon as I said it, I realized, no, he's really not. And so I sort of said, actually, I didn't mean that, which was really good for me because normally I, have to be stubborn and argue, but I just caught that one. So we can say things we don't mean, we can do things we regret, and that's not ideal. But if that happens, we can always move on from it, apologize, learn. So what's been helping me lately is, hi Laura, giving space for the feelings. So rather than just rushing to defend myself or to get into the story, which is really fast, about why that person is so wrong or how unfair it is, I haven't been doing that, which is great, because I don't know how that's been possible, but it's been nice. I've been with myself. I haven't been looking outwards. I've been more looking inwards. And something that symbolizes that for me is I put my hand on my chest, which is where I experience all the tension as well. And I honor the experience. So I'm not saying this is wrong, you should know better. I'm like, oh, there's something here. And this is actually quite beautiful. And it can be a really lovely feeling to be gentle and tender with yourself, especially when you might be getting some harshness from outside, because the world can be very harsh. There's a lot of hurt people and they hurt people, and including myself. I'm not better than anyone else. But it's wonderful to have that protection within yourself. So the other thing I think is been nice for me lately is having some privacy with that. So because I guess I'm finding that I'm good at comforting myself now. I'm good at not judging myself. I'm good at not freaking out about experience. And so I'm a good person to be there for myself. Obviously, though, support is wonderful if you have someone you can trust. And I think at some point we do need that. We need to be able to surrender in the presence of someone else, to rest in someone else's arms is very healing. But what makes that possible, and it is really that we can be there for ourselves as well, so that we can take that leap of faith because we've experienced what it's like to be kind and gentle with ourselves. So it's nice to know that we can be our own soft resting place in this very noisy, busy, crazy world. So what has enabled that? Like, how is it that I'm now having this different experience of getting triggered? I think what it comes down to is that I have a deeper sense that deep down I am good. And I think sometimes when we get triggered, beliefs can come up like, I'm a bad person, I'm not good enough, the world's not safe, and those kinds of things. And so knowing that I am innately good, not because I'm this particular individual, but because I'm a part of life, is what helps me to be with all these experiences with less suffering. It makes it easier. It makes me, I can lean into these difficult feelings because I know they're transient. I know they're not the whole of who I am. I know they have something important to teach me. I don't need to know what that is immediately. And I don't even ever need to be able to articulate it, but I sense the healing that happens when I can be with this experience. So, I mean, how do you know you're good? That's quite a question, isn't it? But the thing is, it doesn't always look that way. So let's say we're getting triggered because someone's accused us of something which they think is bad about us. Now, they might have a point. Like, maybe our behavior wasn't ideal, or maybe it was fine and they're kind of projecting their own hurts onto us and their own stories and their own experiences. It could be, you know, it could be so many things. There's no black and white answer. There's no rule about this. But we can learn, right? Children learn. That doesn't make them bad because they make mistakes. It's part of being human. And we have the capacity to learn. And what helps us learn in a meaningful way is not judgment. It's not like, they shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that. So it's more like a resting and being with what's arising, knowing that it doesn't make us wrong, will help us, or it has helped me anyway, to see, oh, I can see how maybe the way I phrased that was insensitive. So, or, you know, maybe I should do the washing up a bit quicker, because, you know, my husband finds it difficult if it's left there too long. And that's just being nice, you know? It's not a personal attack because I'm a bad person. So this being with your own experience, it doesn't mean that somebody else hasn't done something wrong. You know, they might have done something terrible, but you can still, in fact, it's even more important to be there for yourself when that happens and to experience your own comfort and love. That is who you are. It's who you are because it's what's enduring. The experience of being triggered passes, but we can always kind of lean back into the love that we are. So I think that's all I wanted to say on this. Yeah, let me know what you think. I've been kind of enjoying it lately because I just enjoy the tenderness that comes forward. And, you know, that's the gift. So in the first moment, I might not like it, but it is part of the rich experience of life. It is part of being human. It doesn't mean like you have some disorder. Yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to say. So a lot of people, when they're like on a healing journey, or as they go through life, they kind of can rate their progress by how often they're getting triggered, which I understand. It can be nice to celebrate and acknowledge how far we've come and how much we've changed and how much easier life has become as we've become nicer to ourselves and others and let go of a lot of conditioning and judgmental thinking that gets in the way of that. But it can also create pressure, which then if you get triggered, it's like, oh, I'm back to square one, or I haven't come as far as I thought. But, if you can, let go of that. Like, if you're getting triggered, that's just what's meant to be happening. You can be getting triggered on your deathbed, and it's okay. Hopefully not right when you're dying. Getting annoyed with a nurse. It's just all okay. And it's okay, not necessarily because things that happen and the circumstances that you find yourself in are always easy, and they're certainly not always just. But it's okay because you have a sanctuary of love within yourself, which you can depend on. Okay, so I think I'll leave it there for now. If you like any support with healing body image, that's what I do. I probably should have said that. I help people to stop judging their appearance so they can enjoy their life more. That's my passion because it's what I struggled with for such a long time. I'm a coach. I offer coaching online. I offer everyone a free discovery call with no pressure. And I also have a completely free course which consists of a 34-page ebook, Making Peace with Your Appearance, and 10 companion videos which go into more detail. I also write a blog which you can find on my website, mariamorgan.info, and you can sign up to receive that by email as well. And I also write lots of poems these days, which is another passion of mine. Oh, that's one last thing that I'll mention is when you're triggered, and if you decide that you want to kind of take a moment for yourself, one thing I like to do is write a poem. You might like to do something else creative, but often it can be really helpful and enjoyable to find a creative outlet, whatever that is for you. And there's something about giving voice to your experience, even if it's a dark experience, that helps yourself, but also sometimes it can help other people because they can recognize what you're saying and feel less alone in their experience as well. So that's another nice one. Okay, hope you all have a lovely day. I say all, whoever watches this. Take care. Bye now.